Life is full of challenges, uncertainties, and obstacles that often appear insurmountable. Yet, as believers, we know that beyond the challenges lies the fulfillment of God's promises. Just as God promised the Israelites the land of Canaan, He has great things in store for each of us. However, like the Israelites, we may encounter giants along the way, situations that seem larger than life. But I'm here to remind you today, you are well able to overcome your enemies, not because of your strength, but because of God's faithfulness and the spirit of faith He has given us. In Numbers 13 verse 1 to 2, the Lord spoke to Moses and instructed him to send men to spy out the land of Canaan, a land He was giving to the children of Israel. Notice that the land was already promised to them. God wanted them to see the good future He had in store. Likewise, God speaks to us in the quiet moments of life, revealing the future He has prepared for us. Jeremiah 29 verse 11 reminds us that His plans are to prosper us, to give us hope and a future. But sometimes we must take that step of faith, investigate the path ahead, and understand what it would take to possess the promise. Moses sent the spies to check out the land and its inhabitants, not to determine if they should take it, but to develop a strategy. He wanted to know if the people were strong or weak, if the cities were fortified or open, and whether the land was fertile. In doing this, Moses was demonstrating the importance of due diligence and strategic planning in faith. When God calls us to a new season, a new opportunity, or a new challenge, He doesn't expect us to walk blindly. We must be diligent, study the situation, and develop a strategy. But even more importantly, we must move with courage, knowing that no matter what obstacles lie ahead, God has already promised us victory. The spies returned with both good news and bad news. The land indeed flowed with milk and honey, just as God had promised. But the spies also saw giants, the descendants of Anak, mighty warriors who lived in fortified cities. This is where the Israelites were tested. Most of the spies gave in to fear, declaring that they were like grasshoppers in the sight of those giants. Numbers 13 verse 33. How often do we do the same? When we encounter challenges, we magnify them in our minds and minimize ourselves. We focus on the strength of our enemies rather than the power of our God. This is what happened to 10 of the 12 spies. They gave a bad report not because of the actual situation, but because of their lack of faith in God's promise. But Caleb had a different spirit. In Numbers 13 verse 30, Caleb quieted the people and said, "Let us go up at once and take possession, for we are well able to overcome it." Caleb was confident, not because he underestimated the strength of the giants, but because he trusted the strength of his God. Caleb and Joshua both tore their clothes and said to the people, "The land we passed through is an exceedingly good land. If the Lord delights in us, He will bring us into this land. Do not fear the people of the land, for they are our bread. Their protection has departed from them, and the Lord is with us." Numbers 14 verse 6 to 9. When we have a spirit of faith like Caleb, we see obstacles not as roadblocks but as stepping stones. The very challenges that intimidate us become our bread, the nourishment for our spiritual growth and the foundation of our testimony. The other spies were not silent. They insisted, "We are not able to go up against the people, for they are stronger than we." Numbers 13 verse 31. They allowed fear to take root in their hearts, and they spread that fear throughout the entire camp. Fear is contagious. It magnifies problems, distorts reality, and makes us forget the promises of God. In our own lives, we must be careful not to surround ourselves with people who only see obstacles. People who say it can't be done or it is too hard are like the 10 spies who discouraged the Israelites. But remember, God calls such negative reports bad reports because they contradict His word and His promises. The giants you face today, whether financial troubles, relationship issues, health struggles, or spiritual battles, may seem intimidating. But like Caleb and Joshua, you can declare with boldness, "We are well able to overcome," not because of your own strength, but because of God's faithfulness. Jesus said in John 16 verse 33, "In this world you will have trouble, but take heart, I have overcome the world." Our confidence is in the one who has already overcome every enemy we will face. The same God who parted the Red Sea, who defeated Pharaoh's army, and who brought the Israelites out of Egypt is with us today. If God is for us, who can be against us? Just as Caleb and Joshua urged the Israelites not to fear the giants in Canaan, I urge you today, do not fear the giants in your life. The land is yours. God has already prepared a glorious future for you, but it takes faith to step into it. The giants are big, but our God is bigger. Trust in His promises, move forward with courage, and know that you are well able to overcome. Let's rise up like Caleb with a different spirit and declare, "Let us go up at once, for we are well able." Your victory is not in your own strength, but in the strength of the Lord who goes before you to conquer every enemy. Amen.